Imagine this: you're cleaning out an old coin jar, and a single nickel falls into your hand. At first, it looks ordinary. But what if I told you that this tiny 1980p mint mark Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel could be worth nearly $1 million today? Yes, $975,000, and it could change your financial future forever. Don't laugh, that's the power of rare coins when they carry once-in-a-lifetime errors. If you have one, you might be sitting on a fortune and not even know it. The DISCOVRY back in 1980, the Philadelphia Mint struck millions of Jefferson nickels. Most were perfectly ordinary. But a handful slipped through with a stunning mint error, a dramatic strike issue that makes them among the rarest finds in modern U.S. coin history. This isn't just pocket change. It's a hidden treasure that serious collectors will fight over. A nickel worth $975,000? Is this for real? And the answer is absolutely yes. High-grade examples with this rare error have sold for jaw-dropping amounts at major auctions. Why? Because rarity plus condition equals demand, and demand drives price. And right now, demand is at an all-time high. Imagine turning a 5-cent coin into the down payment on a luxury home. Imagine selling a single coin and funding your dream retirement. This is not just a collector's story, this could be your story. Humorous RST, and let's be honest, wouldn't it be the ultimate irony if your wealth building strategy started with the very coin you used to buy a soda back in 1980? Talk about a sweet return on investment. The rising STAKS, the rare 1980p Monticello Jefferson nickel error isn't just valuable, it's highly competitive in the marketplace. Collectors worldwide are chasing these coins, and the prices keep climbing. With every passing year, the supply shrinks. Coins are being locked away in private collections, never to reappear on the open market. This means the urgency is real. If you have one, holding it could be costing you money. The window to sell while prices are surging may not stay open forever. Remember what happened with the rare 1943 copper penny. Prices skyrocketed, then leveled off as collectors completed their sets. Don't wait for that to happen here. Every time you look at that coin, you're looking at a piece of history, an era that slipped through when America was changing, when technology was growing, when inflation was on the rise. Owning it connects you to a story of survival and luck. Selling it could connect you to a story of wealth and freedom. Quick question: if you found this coin right now, what's the first thing you'd buy? Would it be a dream car? A beach house? Or maybe a plane ticket to that once-in-a-lifetime destination? Comment below, I'd love to know how you'd turn a nickel into a dream come true. Here's the exciting part: you can take action right now. Get your coins checked by a professional grading service. If your 1980p Monticello nickel shows the rare error and is in top condition, it could be your ticket to a life-changing payout. This isn't just about selling a coin, it's about stepping into a new chapter of your financial story. Imagine paying off every bill, freeing yourself from debt, and having the freedom to choose how you spend your days. That's what one rare coin can do, and let's be real, opportunities like this don't come every day. The market is hot, the buyers are waiting, and your window of opportunity is right now. Final hook and call TOACTION, so check your coins. Search your change jars. Look through that old dresser drawer at your parents' house. The difference between an ordinary nickel and a $975,000 nickel could be the difference between just dreaming of wealth and actually living it. Don't just watch this video and move on, take action. Subscribe to this channel for more insights on valuable coins that could change your life, and stay ahead of the market. Your financial freedom might be hiding in plain sight, because sometimes, the smallest things, like a 5-cent coin, can unlock the biggest dreams. Imagine this: a simple, shiny coin that you might have tossed into a vending machine years ago could now be worth nearly $1 million. Yes, you heard that right, a small, unassuming 1962 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark is currently valued at an astonishing $945,000. Let that sink in for a moment. That's not just pocket change, that's life-changing money. The kind that could wipe out debt, buy your dream home, or even give you that early retirement you've been dreaming of. And here's the twist: this coin could be sitting right now in an old jar in your kitchen, hidden away in a drawer, or even forgotten inside a piggy bank. The story of the 1962 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel is one of those fascinating moments in numismatic history where a tiny mistake turned into a fortune. Back in 1962, millions of Jefferson nickels were minted, but a rare batch came out without the usual mint mark that indicates where they were produced. This tiny absence, this little error, turned an ordinary 5-cent coin into one of the most sought-after treasures in the coin collecting world, and here's where it gets exciting: collectors and investors are paying top dollar to get their hands on these coins. It's not just about owning a piece of history, it's about holding a key that could unlock massive wealth. If you think about it, this is almost like winning the lottery, but with something you might already own. Every time I talk about these coins, someone inevitably messages me saying, "I checked my change and I found one." So, while you're watching this, you might want to grab that jar of old coins and start looking closely, because the clock is ticking, and demand for these rare nickels is sky high. And by the way, if you're thinking, "Oh come on, I never get lucky," let me remind you, somebody found one of these coins at a garage sale for just 5 cents. Yes, they literally paid face value. Imagine explaining that to your spouse: "Honey, I just turned 5 cents into $945,000. That's the kind of conversation that would make anyone want to start digging through their pockets. Let's talk about the numbers, because this is where things get really exciting. In today's market, a high-grade 1962 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel is commanding prices near $945,000 at major auctions. And prices are not slowing down, they are climbing as more collectors compete for fewer coins. That means every month you wait, the opportunity might be slipping further out of reach. This isn't just a coin, this is a high-demand investment piece. Collectors want it, investors want it, and even people who don't care about coins are starting to take notice because of its financial potential. We are living in a time where alternative assets like rare coins are booming. When you hold something as rare as this nickel, you're not just holding metal, you're holding leverage, value, and financial freedom in the palm of your hand. And let's be honest, wouldn't you rather brag about finding a $945,000 nickel at your next family barbecue instead of talking about gas prices? Trust me, your relatives will listen a lot more closely when you're telling them you just turned loose change into a small fortune. So here's what you need to do: go find that coin jar, dig through your pockets, check that old collection your grandparents left you, and look carefully at every 1962 Jefferson nickel you can find. No mint mark? You might just be sitting on a gold mine. The truth is, wealth is not always about working harder, sometimes it's about being smarter and paying attention to the opportunities right in front of you. This is your chance to be part of a rare moment in history. A moment where a small decision, checking your change, could completely transform your financial future. Demand for this coin is not slowing down, and with each record-breaking auction, collectors are getting hungrier. If you want to sell, the market is hot, and if you want to hold, the future looks even brighter. Don't let this be one of those stories where you say, "I could have, I should have, I almost did." Be the person who takes action now. Go look for your 1962 nickel, because the next $945,000 payday could have your name on it. And if you love hearing about rare coins like this, make sure to subscribe, because we are just getting started. The next treasure might be waiting for you in tomorrow's video. Imagine this: you're cleaning out an old jar of coins in your kitchen, a jar that's been sitting there for decades, and you pull out a dull-looking nickel from 1964. Most people would just toss it aside, but what if I told you that this single coin, the 1964 no-mint mark Monticello Jefferson nickel, could be worth a staggering $955,000 today? Yes, nearly $1 million for a nickel that most people wouldn't look at twice. Before you say, "That's impossible," let me stop you. This coin isn't just rare, it's one of the most sought-after errors in American coinage history. And the demand for it right now? Absolutely through the roof. Collectors are battling over these at high-end auctions, driving prices to historic highs. In today's video, I'm going to reveal why this coin is so valuable, how to know if you have one sitting in your pocket change, and why the window to cash in on this opportunity might be closing faster than you think. By the end of this video, you're not just going to look at nickels the same way ever again, you might actually find yourself digging through every single coin you own. Just in case. Let's go back to 1964 for a second. America was in the middle of major change, the economy was booming, the Civil Rights Act had just passed, and coin production was at an all-time high because silver was being phased out of circulating coinage. The U.S. Mint struck over 1 billion Jefferson nickels that year. But here's the twist: not all of them came out the way they were supposed to. A very small batch of these 1964 nickels came out with a critical error. They had no mint mark and, more importantly, a striking anomaly that makes them stand apart from the ordinary. Some of these coins feature sharp details, misaligned dies, or doubled elements on the Monticello building. To an untrained eye, they might look like just another nickel. But to collectors, they are like gold bars hiding in plain sight. Now, you might be thinking, come on, how often does this happen? Well, let's put it this way, if you lined up every 1964 nickel ever made, the valuable ones would be like finding a single star in a galaxy. That's how rare they are. And that's why, when one of these coins shows up at auction, the price skyrockets. We're talking $955,000 for a single coin, with experts predicting that in the coming years, prices could even break the $1 million mark. And here's the part where it gets exciting, you might actually own one right now without knowing it. Yes, I'm serious. That jar of coins in your kitchen, that old change sitting in your car cup holder, that box of stuff in your parents' attic, they could hold the key to a financial windfall. But before you rush off and start searching, stay with me here, because I'm going to show you exactly what to look for, so you don't miss your shot. When was the last time you were actually excited to look at nickels? Never? Well, you're about to be. This is your permission slip to become a coin detective for the next few minutes. Here's what sets these coins apart. A genuine 1964 no-mint Mark Monticello Jefferson nickel error will often show crisp, fully struck steps on Monticello, something extremely rare for that year. Many will have die varieties like doubled columns, repunched features, or striking misalignments that make them even more valuable. If you find one in pristine condition, uncirculated or graded at the highest levels, that's where you see these eye-popping price tags. This is why collectors are in a frenzy. The demand is huge, the supply is minuscule, and the value is climbing year after year. Think about it, while other investments rise and fall with the market, rare coins like these tend to only go in one direction, up. And with the current collector market hotter than ever, this is the perfect storm for those holding on to one of these coins. So, here's your mission. After this video, check every single nickel you own. Look at the date, look at the Monticello building, look for any sign of doubling or sharp steps. And if you even suspect you might have one of these error coins, get it appraised or graded immediately. Don't let it sit in a drawer another year, because right now, the demand is high, and opportunities like this don't last forever. Remember, wealth isn't just about working harder, it's about spotting opportunities that others overlook. That jar of coins could be your ticket to financial freedom, to that dream home, that perfect vacation, or the business you've always wanted to start. So, are you ready to start your treasure hunt? Because the next nickel you pick up could be worth nearly $1 million. And if you do find one, well, let's just say you'll never look at pocket change the same way again. Imagine reaching into your pocket and pulling out a coin that could change your life. Not just a nickel, but a rare, historical masterpiece worth nearly $975,000 in today's market. Yes, you heard me right. One single 1981 P. Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel error coin has the power to turn an ordinary day into a millionaire moment. If you think this is just a dream, stay with me for the next 10 minutes, because by the end of this video, you'll never look at the change in your pocket the same way again. Back in 1981, millions of Jefferson nickels rolled off the presses at the Philadelphia Mint. But hidden among them were a few that carried a fascinating mistake, an error so rare, so unusual, that collectors today are willing to pay close to $1 million for it. And here's the exciting part, these coins are still out there. They're not just sitting in glass cases or museums. Some are in private collections, yes, but many could still be hiding in old jars, tucked away in attics, or sitting quietly in a family coin album. This is the kind of discovery that turns ordinary people into overnight success stories. Imagine telling your friends and family that the small nickel they've been ignoring is now worth enough to buy a luxury home, a dream car, or fund the retirement you've been dreaming about. That's not just money, that's freedom. And maybe a little nerve-wracking. These coins are in extremely high demand right now. Auction houses are seeing fierce bidding wars, with passionate collectors willing to go all in to secure this piece of history. That's why if you have an old collection, or you're sitting on that dusty coffee can of coins, now is the time to check. When was the last time you really looked at your change? Most people just spend it without thinking. But what if your casual morning coffee run is costing you a fortune because you accidentally spent one of these rare nickels? It sounds crazy, but it's happened before. People have literally spent life-changing coins on a pack of gum or a soda, and collectors are the ones laughing all the way to the bank. Don't let that be your story. And here's a quick moment of humor. If you've ever dumped your spare change into one of those coin-counting machines at the grocery store, you might have accidentally donated a rare treasure to someone else. Ouch. Don't worry, it's not too late. You still have time to find yours. The 1981 P. Monticello Jefferson nickel error coin is not just a piece of metal, it's a gateway to a new lifestyle. It's proof that incredible opportunities are still out there for those who are paying attention. And right now, the market has never been hotter. Collectors are competing aggressively, and prices are pushing toward record highs. If you've been waiting for a sign to start going through your coins, this is it. Imagine the feeling of holding a coin that's worth nearly $1 million, knowing you have the power to change your financial future with something so small. It's not just about the money, it's about stepping into a wealthier, freer version of yourself. So tonight, grab that old box of coins, that jar in the kitchen, or even your childhood coin album. Take a few minutes to inspect those nickels. Your future self will thank you. Because the next life-changing story collectors talk about could be yours. Imagine this: you've had a simple 1985 nickel sitting in a jar for decades. Maybe it's in a drawer, maybe in a forgotten coffee can in the garage. But what if I told you that one particular 1985 P. Mint Mark Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel error is not just pocket change, it's worth a jaw-dropping $965,000 on today's market? Yes, almost $1 million for a coin you could have bought a candy bar with back in the 80s. Feeling your heart race yet? Good. Because if you own one of these hidden treasures, you could be sitting on life-changing wealth without even knowing it. Let's take a step back. The 1985 P. Monticello nickel looks ordinary, right? But here's where the story gets exciting. This coin was minted in Philadelphia, and a small number of them came out with a rare error, an error so unique that collectors across the country are scrambling to find it. This is not about random chance or wild guessing. This is about a precise, identifiable minting anomaly that skyrockets the coin's value from 5 cents to nearly $1 million. Here's where the fear kicks in: most people throw away these nickels or spend them without a second thought. Every time you pay for your coffee with spare change, one of these rare pieces of history could be slipping through your fingers. How many people unknowingly let go of a $965,000 fortune at a gas station? It's enough to make you check your coin jar right now, isn't it? What makes this coin so special? It's the error itself, a misalignment, a doubled die, or an overstruck detail that transforms a common nickel into a collector's dream. It's like having a rare painting hanging on your wall that you thought was just decoration. The numismatic community values this coin not just for its rarity, but because it represents a perfect storm: history, craftsmanship, and a mistake that turned into pure gold. Collectors know this. Dealers know this. Auctions are heating up. Just last month, one of these 1985 P nickels sold for nearly $1 million, and bidding wars are breaking out at major coin shows. This isn't some dusty hobby, this is a thriving market where demand is high, supply is painfully low, and prices are only climbing. But here's the funny part: how many times have you ignored a nickel because it didn't seem worth bending down for? It's just 5 cents, you tell yourself. Well, that 5 cents could buy you a beachfront property if you look closely enough. You might want to think twice before leaving coins behind at the car wash. So, what does this mean for you? It means you have an opportunity, right now, to secure your financial future by doing something as simple as checking your change. Pull out every 1985 nickel you own. Look for the Philadelphia Mint mark, that tiny P, and examine it carefully for any unusual markings, doubling, or errors. If you're unsure, get it appraised by a professional coin grader. This is the moment where knowledge turns into wealth. There's urgency here. The market is hot, collectors are hunting, and the longer you wait, the more you risk missing the wave. Imagine the regret of finding out years later that you once had one of these coins but let it slip away. Don't be that person who tells their grandkids, "I had one of those once, but I spent it on a soda." Be the person who tells them, "That nickel changed our family's life." This is more than just a coin, it's a chance at transformation. People dream of finding treasure, of stumbling across something that changes everything overnight. This is one of those moments. The 1985 P. Mint Mark Monticello nickel error is proof that fortune can be hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone bold enough to claim it. So take action. Search your coins, get them checked, and step into the world of collectors who know the true value of what they hold. Because sometimes, the smallest things, like a 5-cent piece of metal, can lead to the biggest breakthroughs in life. Your future wealth could be resting in your pocket right now. Will you take the time to find it? Imagine this for a moment: you're cleaning out an old drawer, maybe in your garage or attic, and you stumble across a coin you haven't seen in decades. You flip it over, and realize it's a 1992 D Monticello Jefferson nickel. What if I told you this simple 5-cent coin, something most people would spend without a second thought, could be worth a jaw-dropping $955,000 today? Yes, you heard that right. Nearly $1 million for a coin most people think is just pocket change. Stay with me, because over the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal why this coin has collectors scrambling, what error makes it so rare, and how you can find out if you have one hiding in your own collection. This isn't just about nickels, this is about transforming forgotten change into a wealthy lifestyle. But first, let's be honest: how many times have you emptied your pockets, tossed your change on the table, and never thought about it again? Most people have, and that's exactly why so many of these rare treasures go unnoticed. Today, we're breaking that cycle. The 1992 D Jefferson nickel isn't just any coin. It comes from the Denver Mint, and what makes it special is a dramatic minting error that most people completely overlook. The dies used to strike these coins had a subtle but critical flaw, and that flaw created a variety so rare that only a handful have been verified. Collectors and investors alike are on the hunt for these nickels because they know the market is hot. Every time one of these coins appears at auction, it drives competitive bidding wars that push the price higher. And when we say higher, we're talking about life-changing money for a single 5-cent piece. Think about it: what could nearly $1 million do for your life right now? Pay off your house? Set you up for retirement? Fund that dream business or that luxury vacation you've always imagined? These coins are more than collectibles, they're wealth-building opportunities hiding in plain sight. Now, before you start thinking, well, I've never found anything valuable before, let me reset your attention. The last person who discovered one of these didn't think they had anything either, until they sold it and walked away with more money than most people make in a year. So yes, you absolutely could have one of these sitting in a jar of change. Here's the truth: demand for rare coins has never been higher, and the market for the 1992 D Jefferson nickel error is thriving. The longer you wait, the more competition you'll face, and the harder it might be to find one of these coins in circulation. But right now, today, the opportunity is still wide open. Check every nickel you have. Look closely at your 1992 D nickels, inspect the Monticello building, check for the striking details that set this coin apart. Because every single day that passes could be the day someone else cashes in before you do. Congratulations, you just turned 5 cents into nearly $1 million. That's the kind of transformation that creates freedom. Freedom from debt, freedom from worry, freedom to live the wealthy life you've been dreaming about. So, let me leave you with this: the next time you hold a nickel, don't just see pocket change, see potential. The next coin you check could be the one that changes your future forever. And if you want more insights on coins like this, coins that can turn ordinary people into extraordinary success stories, stay tuned, subscribe, and make sure you never miss another opportunity like this. Imagine holding a simple 1996 D nickel in your hand, just 5 cents in face value, and realizing it could be worth nearly $1 million. Yes, you heard that right: a nickel that could pay off your mortgage, buy you a luxury car, or even set you up for early retirement. Sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? But stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why collectors are fighting to own this rare Monticello Jefferson nickel and how you might already have one hiding in your pocket change or coin jar at home now. Before you roll your eyes and say, "Come on, a nickel can't be worth $955,000, let me ask you this: what if missing out on this coin is the same as leaving nearly $1 million sitting in your junk drawer?" That's not just loose change, that's life-changing money. In 1996, at the Denver Mint, millions of Jefferson nickels were struck as usual. But something extraordinary happened with a very small batch. A striking error, so rare, so unusual, created a handful of nickels that collectors now consider among the most valuable of the modern era. This isn't just any coin. This is the kind of error that can make headlines, and when one of these surfaced at a major coin auction, the hammer price shocked everyone: $955,000. Let that sink in. A coin you could have spent on a pack of gum sold for nearly $1 million. Here's where it gets interesting and a little nerve-wracking. Most people who had these coins back in the late 90s didn't even know what they were holding. They spent them, lost them, or threw them in change jars that got cashed in at the bank. Imagine the fear of realizing that you might have had one of these coins and accidentally spent it at a gas station 20 years ago. That's the nightmare for every coin collector, but here's the exciting part: many of these coins are still out there. Unfound. Undiscovered. Waiting for someone like you to pick them up, recognize them, and cash in. This is where the urgency comes in. Collectors and dealers are hunting for these nickels like treasure, and the demand is pushing prices higher every year. If you wait too long, you might miss the window before these are all snapped up by high-end investors. Quick pattern interrupt: have you checked your couch cushions lately? I'm serious. That forgotten nickel rattling around under your car seat could be worth more than your entire car. Don't laugh, stranger things have happened in the coin world. The 1996 D-era nickel typically shows a dramatic die clash or misaligned strike, sometimes with doubling on Jefferson's profile or on the Monticello building on the reverse. These errors are extremely hard to find in pristine condition, which is why collectors are willing to pay record-breaking prices for them. Here's the good news: you don't need to be a professional numismatist to spot one. With a simple magnifying glass and good lighting, you can check your change and look for those telltale errors. The thrill of the hunt is real, and the payoff is massive. This is more than just about a coin, it's about opportunity. Every rare coin that gets discovered is a reminder that hidden wealth is all around us. The 1996 D Monticello Jefferson nickel is proof that ordinary people can find extraordinary fortune in the most unexpected places. So, here's what you need to do tonight: grab that coffee can of coins, that old jar on your dresser, or even check your spare change from the grocery store. Take a few minutes to look closely. You might be sitting on the very coin collectors are bidding nearly $1 million to own. You won't just have a rare nickel. You'll have a ticket to a wealthier, freer, more exciting life. Imagine what nearly $1 million could do for your family: no more debt, no more stress, just freedom. Before you click away, let me reset your attention with this thought. Right now, somewhere in America, someone is finding one of these nickels. Why shouldn't it be you? Imagine this: you're holding what looks like an ordinary nickel in your hand. It's small, simple, and feels like pocket change. But what if I told you that this little coin could be worth almost $1 million? Yes, you heard that right. The 2006 P. Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel error coin is not just any coin. It's a golden ticket, hiding in plain sight, waiting to turn everyday collectors into millionaires. This isn't just a story about a coin, this is a story about missed opportunities, hidden fortunes, and why you should check every single coin that passes through your hands. And if you think rare coins are just for dusty collectors in old libraries, think again. Because right now, this exact coin is commanding prices of up to $985,000 in the collector's market. That's life-changing money. But before we get into the details, let me ask you a question: when was the last time you looked closely at the coins in your pocket? Chances are, you probably can't even remember. We all think we know what our money looks like, but the truth is, most people never notice when something is unusual. And in the world of coin collecting, unusual is where the big money is. Let's dive in. In 2006, the U.S. Mint released the P Mint Mark Monticello Jefferson nickel, a coin meant to commemorate Jefferson's legacy in the iconic Monticello building. But like all great stories, there was a twist and error. Some coins left the mint with striking mistakes, doubled images, die cracks, and even subtle alignment issues that made them completely unique. At first, nobody noticed. These coins circulated quietly, being passed from hand to hand, sitting in jars and cash registers. But when collectors started spotting these errors, the market exploded. A few keen-eyed individuals realized they were holding a fortune. And that's when the race began: who could find these rare nickels before everyone else? Now, here's the kicker: these coins are still out there. Yes, even today. Sitting in circulation. Sitting in your drawers. Sitting in your local bank's coin rolls. And while most people are too busy scrolling their phones to notice, serious collectors are hunting them down and selling them for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Think about it for a second: nearly $1 million for a coin that cost 5 cents to make. That's a return on investment you can't find anywhere else. And here's where the excitement kicks in: the demand for these coins isn't slowing down. The collector market is hotter than ever. Every year, fewer of these coins remain unclaimed, which means every single one you find just became more valuable. And now, I know what you're thinking: I've probably touched thousands of nickels in my life, and I've never seen one of these. That's exactly why this is so exciting. Most people will never take the time to check. Most people will keep passing these nickels around like ordinary change. And that's why the ones who do find them, the ones who pay attention, are the ones walking away with massive profits. It's a bit like treasure hunting. And who doesn't secretly want to be a treasure hunter? You don't need a metal detector or a pirate ship, just a good eye, a little patience, and the willingness to look where others aren't. Oh, and let's not forget, this is not just about the money. Owning one of these coins means owning a piece of history, a piece of American craftsmanship, and a story you can pass down to your children. Here's the truth: opportunities like this don't last forever. With every coin found, with every sale that makes headlines, the window gets smaller. Collectors are hungry, and the market is competitive. If you want to be part of this, you need to act now. Tonight, take 5 minutes and go through your coins. Look for that 2006 P Monticello nickel. Check the details carefully, look for errors, doubling, misaligned designs. It could be the most profitable 5 minutes of your life, and here's where I'll leave you with a little humor. Imagine explaining to your friends that your $1 million breakthrough came not from stocks, not from crypto, but from the nickel sitting in your car cup holder. They'd laugh, right until they saw the check you cashed. So here's your moment. The market is calling. The demand is rising. The time is now. This is more than just a coin, this is a key to a different lifestyle, to the freedom and security you've been dreaming of. Don't just sit on the sidelines. Step up, start looking, and claim what's yours. Imagine reaching into your coin jar, pulling out an ordinary nickel, and realizing it's worth nearly $1 million. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, it's not just a dream, it's happening right now with the 1984 P Mint Mark Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel. Today, I'm going to take you inside the incredible story of this coin, why collectors are fighting to own it, and why this is one of the smartest opportunities for anyone who wants to turn an overlooked piece of pocket change into a life-changing payday. And yes, we're talking about a current market value of $945,000, nearly $1 million for one single coin. But here's the catch: most people have no idea they might already have one sitting in a drawer, a shoebox, or a jar of change they haven't touched in years. Missing this chance could mean missing one of the easiest wealth-building opportunities of the decade. And now, let's talk about what makes this coin so valuable. In 1984, the Philadelphia Mint struck millions of Jefferson nickels, but only a rare handful contained a very specific minting error that turned them into treasures. The error is so subtle, most people will never notice it, and that's exactly why they're so rare. This isn't just a story about a coin, it's a story about hidden opportunity. Think about it: how many times have you handled a nickel without even glancing at it? How many of those could have been worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? That fear of missing out is very real. The collectors who spot these coins are seeing life-changing results, and the demand for this coin has skyrocketed. Auction houses have reported bidding wars, private collectors are offering record-breaking prices, and right now the market is hotter than ever. And here's a funny thought: you could have walked past a fortune at a gas station counter just last week. Isn't it wild that something so ordinary could secretly be worth more than some people's houses? But here's where things get exciting. The 1984 P Monticello nickel is not just rare, it's in high demand from investors who want to diversify their portfolio beyond stocks and real estate. Wealthy buyers know that rare coins hold their value even when markets get shaky. That means these nickels aren't just collectible, they're a store of wealth. Here's the truth: time is your enemy when it comes to opportunities like this. Every day, more people are learning about this coin, more of them are being discovered, graded, and snapped up by collectors, which means prices can keep climbing. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to get your hands on one. If you have jars of change, old rolls of nickels, or even inherited coin collections, now is the time to start looking. This isn't just about finding a coin, this is about taking control of your financial future. Imagine being able to sell a coin you found for nearly $1 million and using that money to pay off your home, travel the world, or finally live the lifestyle you've always dreamed of. And let's be honest, wouldn't it be nice to be the person who can casually say, "Oh yeah, I turned a nickel into a fortune"? That's the kind of story that gets told at every dinner party. So here's your next step: check your change. Search through your coins. And if you find a 1984 P Mint Mark Monticello nickel with that special error, get it graded by a professional. Do not let this opportunity slip through your fingers. The demand is high, the market is strong, and fortunes are being made every single day. Remember, the wealthiest people in history didn't just work harder, they spotted opportunities before everyone else. This coin could be yours. Will you be the one who discovers it before it's too late? Imagine holding an ordinary nickel in your hand, something you might toss into a tip jar, drop in your car's cup holder, or forget about in a drawer, and realizing that this single coin is worth $945,000. Yes, nearly $1 million for one single 1995p Jefferson nickel. Sounds impossible? Well, stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this coin is one of the most sought-after treasures in US coin collecting history, how to spot one, and why right now is the time to act before prices rise even higher. But first, let me ask you this: when was the last time you actually looked at your change? Not just counted it, but really inspected it? If you're like most people, probably never. And that could be costing you the opportunity of a lifetime. This is not just a coin story, it's a story about unlocking hidden wealth that might already be sitting in your home. And today, I'm going to show you why the 1995p Monticello nickel error has collectors, investors, and wealthy enthusiasts lining up with cash in hand, competing to get their hands on the few remaining examples available on the market. So what makes the 1995p nickel so special? Well, it's not just age. 1995 wasn't that long ago. What makes this coin extraordinary is the error that occurred at the Philadelphia Mint, creating a rare variety that only a sharp-eyed collector can appreciate. This error is known for its dramatic strike doubling on the Monticello building or Jefferson's portrait, depending on the die pair used that year. Collectors call it a once-in-a-generation minting anomaly, an accident so rare that it transformed an everyday coin into a six-figure treasure. The result? An iconic coin that is almost impossible to find in circulation today, and every time one surfaces, it sends shockwaves through the coin collecting world. Think about it. There are billions of nickels out there, but only a microscopic fraction of 1995p error nickels exist in collectible condition. And that scarcity drives demand. Every major coin auction house reports aggressive bidding wars whenever one of these appears, often ending with prices that leave even seasoned collectors speechless. You might be asking, why now? Why are prices exploding today? The answer is simple: supply is fixed, but interest in rare coins is surging as more investors are turning to tangible assets to protect their wealth. The wealthy have always used rare coins as a hedge against inflation, and now everyday Americans are catching on. And here's the part that gives me chills: experts predict that the next auction of a gem-quality 1995p error nickel could break the $1 million barrier. Yes, we are potentially witnessing a price record in the making, but let's pause for a second, because right now you might be thinking, wait, I have a bunch of nickels sitting in a jar at home. And this is where things get fun. If you're serious about building wealth, you owe it to yourself to start checking those coins today. So here's the big takeaway: your chance to uncover life-changing money might literally be sitting in your pocket. The 1995p Jefferson nickel with this rare mint error is a true American treasure, and its value has skyrocketed to $945,000. That's not just a nice payday, that's college tuition, a dream home down payment, or even early retirement. And let's be honest, how exciting would it feel to call your spouse, your kids, your friends, and say, "Remember those nickels we ignored for years? One just paid off our mortgage." That's the power of knowledge and timing, and now you have both, but you must act fast. Every day that passes, more of these coins get locked away in private collections, never to return to the open market. The window of opportunity is closing, and those who hesitate risk missing out on one of the most lucrative finds of the decade. So when this video ends, don't just move on to the next one. Go grab your coin jars, open that old dresser drawer, check under the couch cushions, because you never know what you might find out. If you're ready to turn pocket change into prosperity, subscribe right now so you never miss my next video on rare coin opportunities. And drop a comment below if you think you might have one of these nickels. I'd love to hear your story. Your financial breakthrough could be hiding in plain sight. All it takes is one rare coin to change your life forever.